Hi, welcome back to Partickhill Station, everybody out there in YouTube. I'm still travelling and I'm trying to gather videos to compile into something that I can post, and this time is no different. I've got something here, a little tutorial type video that I hope you'll find interesting, and you might have seen something similar before, but you know, this is the way I do things, but I hope you enjoy it. So coming up later will be a video from a visit to Hobby Lobby here in the Tampa area. You generally always get something of interest there. They do have a line of model railroads, and I'll be showing you some of that stuff and all the other little bits and pieces that they have to offer in terms of trees and bushes and ground cover, figures, etc. And that'll be coming up in the next few days maybe. So let's go ahead and see what we have planned for you. We'll catch you later. So another thing we're going to be doing is making a stone wall or a dry stone dike, and we'll begin with this piece of styrofoam and using some little Acrylc paint, grass, whether it's your static grass or just foliage, ground cover, and some selected paints will end up with a nice little wall that you too can make. So let's go and see how we did that. So we're back at the workbench here, and what I've done is I've taken a piece of pink foam. I had to cut it with a utility knife. That's the only way I could reduce the thickness. And we're going to be building a stone wall. And what I've done is I've roughed out where the stones would be located. And then next thing we're going to do, we're going to open them up a little bit, and for that we'll use a variety of things. A big pen can be helpful, a coffee stirrer, wood, you get that at Starbucks or other coffee stores, and a toothpick, or in this case I broke that off from a barbecue stick which I use for other things. Now I've got some paints here, not exactly what I need, but I'm going to try and use them. So let's go on to the next step of opening up the gaps between the stones. Using the toothpick or skewer to open up the openings, the gaps between the stones. And often it's easier to turn the foam around so that you can see it clearly. And you can also pick off the ends here, give it a more realistic effect. And make sure that you get all of these gaps done. It's a little bit tedious, but it will help in creating the effect. Also, don't forget to do the capping plates, or the capstones as they would be known. Just break off the end part for a bit of realism. So it looks as if we've got everything there. I don't think I missed anything, but I'll give it a close look just to make sure. Now, as you can see, we're using a crushed up piece of aluminum foil, or aluminium foil, whatever way you want to pronounce it, and this gives that rough effect of the stone, which brings a different level of realism. And anybody can do this. That's very good. Yeah, so it's very easy to do, and you know, it roughs up the stonework and it helps with the realism. And don't forget to do the top of the wall. And might be along the edges also. So I'm just removing part of the stonework here, as if it's been damaged or has fallen off through time. And I can also do that in the inside, in the interior here. It gives a nice effect also, and brings some depth to the model. And take a bit off the top. Like everything else, the more effort you put into this type of thing, the better it will look in the end. If you went out into a field somewhere and had a look for one of these dry stone dikes, as they would have been called, you would see that many of them are damaged, falling apart, broken, wherever. Okay, so I think we can begin the paint process for this little wall. Now, you've probably seen this a million times, and that's great. It's always interesting to see how other people do things, and this is just the way that I do it. I'm not saying it's the best way, but it is one way, and it's the way I do it. And I think you'll be quite pleased if you finish a section of wall off and get it on your railway or diorama. So I had to send out for different paints, and we had a limited supply or variety of colours, so I wiped off what I could of the black poster paint that I put on, and I put on, you know, new black acrylic. And then what I did was I took some green paint and I'm doing a dry brush effect. I hope you can see this. And I don't have brown, but I'm going to try and make brown from a red and a yellow that I have. So I've added in some red and yellow with a bit of green in it, and it gives a kind of a brownish colour, and that will help just give it that additional dimension. Kind of difficult to see in this light, but it will have the desired effect. And then we'll let that dry off and see how it looks. But you can see the effect it has. You can see a little bit of brown, green, and the black beneath. So we've applied a little bit of glue strategically where we want to put some grass on the wall. So let's do that, just a tiny little drop. Just a tiny little drop. So now we'll just let that adhere to the glue on the wall. And then the last thing I want to do is maybe just pick out a couple of highlights. So I hope you enjoyed that tutorial on how to make your own wall, and here's the finished product. It's very effective. We did the top, the two ends and the front. Now you can do both sides if you wish, or just the one. You can make it as short or broken as you like, or you can make it taller. In fact, you could do a whole building the same way, and if you do, I'd like to see what you come up with. So thanks very much for dropping by to Partickhill Station, and we'll see you next time. And remember to give me the big thumbs up, and please leave a comment. Bye for now.